Good morning. It's the Call Flow Radio Show, and you're on the air.
It is indeed the Call Flow Radio Show here on WFLO AM 870, streaming online at WFLO.net. And we are taking your phone calls at 434-394-0924. And back from his wedding extravaganza, not his wedding.
My wedding extravaganza.
A wedding extravaganza.
A family wedding.
Yes,
John.
Noah Massage.
That's right. It was a family wedding. And
family wedding.
It was a great time.
It was your younger/older brother.
I realized it was the actual first. It's the first wedding we've had as a family. Because I have a brother who's married, but he did the old classic, just go to the courthouse. He got eloped.
He eloped, yeah.
But this is the first wedding where there's cake and there's food and dancing and an open bar, John. So it was fun though. It was fun. It was nice seeing family. Family. I saw my Uncle Mike. I haven't seen my Uncle Mike in at least a year, which is actually not that long of a time. But it's great seeing family and just being like, I know you and I know you. It was a fun time, and well, I will say this. So I left Thursday, John. Mm-hmm. I think you were here for that when I was I'm
usually here.
When I was saying so long and I'll see you Monday. Mm-hmm. So when I left Thursday, I pretty much just drove straight to Georgia to my hotel because I booked a hotel for Thursday. I wanted to get there a night earlier just to kind of – so I'm in the area already when I wake up Friday morning. Right. My brother, however, decided to drive down at 2 o'clock on Friday morning, and which was a terrible idea. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna sleep at a hotel and wake up refreshed in the morning. Mm-hmm. So I did that. And this hotel I was staying at, I'll give you the name. It was the Comfort Inn of Georgia. There's many Comfort Inns. I just slept at one of the Comfort Inns.
Right.
And I get in the hotel and I'm like, wow. There's a lot of construction work going on out here. I didn't see that in the review.
Not
John.
In the actual hotel, just surrounding buildings?
No, in the hotel.
Oh, in the hotel.
Parking lot was they had just big old pallets of just brick and plumbing stuff. I don't know, John, but they had machines out there and forklifts. I mean, it looked like a warehouse.
Trying to make it more comfortable.
Yeah, well, exactly. So they're going to – I don't know how they're going to make it more comfortable with all that, but, they're going to find a way. I went into the lobby, and it was just all boxed up. There was a bunch of boxes, they're getting new furniture in, or they're getting old furniture out. I don't know what they're doing. Some new stuff is coming in while the old stuff is heading to the landfill, John. And so I go in and check in, and across the street is I'll just call it the shining light of the darkness. There was a Waffle House.
You were going to say The Shining there for a
minute.
The
Shining was across the street. No. It was the glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel. Waffle House opened 24 hours
just
a day.
Just down the block, gentlemen. Yes.
Right across the road. So I was like, I didn't eat anything really. I'm just going to stop. And I went into this Waffle House, and I was just eating alone and drinking coffee, and I was like, this has got to be what it feels like to be in a Humphrey Bogart film, just eating at a diner.
Humphrey would always hit the Waffle House.
He would always hit the Waffle House. No, but a diner with black coffee and pancakes or eggs and bacon. It's just there's something about eating breakfast late at night in a dirty Waffle House. I genuinely love that so much. And so, I finish, I leave a generous tip, I tip generously, John.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Okay.
No, but okay.
And so I get back to the hotel, and I'm unwinding. I have a Adam Sandler movie, which you've seen before, Grown Ups,
yes.
The first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of jumped halfway in the middle of that movie, and they were having an 80s party, and Adam Sandler is like, we're having an 80s party. And then they cuts to some kid, and he was like, the 80s? That was 1,000 years ago. I was like,
right.
Okay, well, I'm just going to fall asleep to this. So I end up shutting off the TV, laying in bed, I have my eyes closed, and that point when you're sleeping, but you're not asleep yet, but everything kind of feels like a dream almost, you're laying in bed, but you're kind of almost about to dream, where you just start kind of having that weird train of thoughts that's sleepy. Well, I'm having that, and I start hearing, I swear to God, I hear somebody peeing in my toilet. John, like in my room.
That was the mice.
No,
Oh.
no. And so I hear this, and I'm like in bed, and I like get up out of bed. I'm like, am I actually hearing this? And it continues. It's like a stream of, can I say urine? Okay, I'm saying it. There's a stream of going into my toilet, though. And so I quickly turn on all the lights. I equipped myself with my metal water bottle, which you are familiar with, the blue one.
Yes.
And so I kick open the bathroom door, and this is the sight I see, John. I see a stream of urine in front of me, and I'm like, how is this possible? And I keep looking up, and there's a vent right above the toilet for like the fan for like when you're running the shower. Somehow it's leaking. The toilet upstairs is leaking. Somebody's taking a pee upstairs. It's somehow leaking through the vent going into my toilet, because when I looked in the bowl, it was yellow, John. The bowl was yellow. So somebody, to say the least, I complained to the front desk as soon as that happened. I was like, hey, I can't use my bathroom now because my floor is covered with guests' pee. And they didn't believe me, which I don't blame them. But, like, I mean, what am I supposed to do? So I tried to get back to sleep, and it was not easy, John. And then the next night, I stayed at an Airbnb that my brother rented.
Right.
And we get to this Airbnb, and we're, like, hanging out. It was, like, in somebody's basement, and there's, like, a back porch. And we're hanging out talking, but we start to, like, hear rustling in the woods. And this is, like, it's supposed to be a quiet neighborhood. But, like, somebody walking. You ever hear that, in the woods?
If they're walking, I hear it, yes.
It sounded like footsteps, and then it would stop, but it would be in the same area constantly. Mm-hmm. And, we're kind of, I don't want to say paranoid people, but we definitely always have our guards up when it comes to stuff like that. So we're both like, we're all kind of like hearing that noise and being like, I wonder if somebody's in the woods, And so we're kind of like looking, and then we started smelling, I'll just put it this way, we started smelling some grass, or like there was
freshly cut.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And so we were like, oh, we better get out of here because there's somebody in the woods with, freshly cut grass watching us, And so we get in, and we're kind of like, okay, this is concerning. And then, like, the room, it was like there was a master room, and then there was a kid's room with, like, bunk beds. Mm-hmm. And on the bunk beds, there was these creepy messages. Like, the bottom bunk had, like, creepy messages about a boy named Bucky. It was like, Bucky, don't have too good of a dream. XOXO, and it's like, hey, we came to see you, Buck, but you weren't here. Where are you, Bucky? And it's just like, but this bunk bed is from like 97, like, so it looked like an old bunk from like the 90s. Oh, sorry, we have a caller, John.
They may have questions.
Okay. Oh boy,
we'll find out. Good morning. You're on the air.
John and Noah, top of the morning.
Hey, Barry. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How was y'all's weekend?
Oh, it was nice. How about you?
Beautiful, beautiful. Now it's going to cool off a little bit today and tomorrow, and back in the heat the end of the week.
Right.
Back in the 90s, I think they said, isn't it?
I believe so. Let me verify here. Let's see. Yeah. We're going to be 80 tomorrow. Yeah, by Thursday, it looks like we're back into the 90s, low 90s.
Well, it's getting time of the year for it, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
That's for sure. I want to talk to you all a little bit this morning about a big benefit this weekend in Cumberland. There was a 16-year-old employee of Vito's Italian Restaurant that had to retire because of health reasons. A few weeks ago, she was hospitalized with a stroke and type 2 diabetes, and it's left her left side in pretty rough shape. So she's struggling daily to make it. And she's doing some better, but not a lot. Her health insurance will run out this Friday, and she'll have to renew her health insurance, hopefully be able to get it back on a full-time basis. But on Saturday, June 15th, we'll be having a benefit gospel program for Kimberly Stewart, who was a former employee at Vito's Italian Restaurant in Cumberland. It'll be held at Fitzgerald Memorial Baptist Church in Cumberland, Virginia, right in the village of Cumberland. The program will start at 6 o'clock. It'll run to about 8 or 8:30 that night. Featured on the program will be Tar Walet Baptist Church own Lena Henderson, she'll be opening, Lena Chapman, Lena Chapman, she'll be opening the program with a couple of songs. Then we'll have music at its best from the old-time gospel singers, Smokey Wilson, Zion Baptist Church Choir here over in Dillwyn. We'll be receiving a love offering that evening. Now, talking about Kimberly, there is a special fundraising account for her at CNF Bank at all branches of CNF Bank, 2 locally, one in Cumberland and one in Cartersville. If you need further details about the bank account or would like to donate financially to her cause through the bank account, you can call CNF Bank here in Cumberland at 804-492-5100. That number again is 804-492-5100. If you don't do that and you're coming out Saturday night, which we cordially invite all to attend, there will be a love offering received in her honor. So we're inviting folks to come out Saturday night. It's going to be a great event. I want to thank all those participating on the program, all those that have aired the announcement through radio and newspaper for helping us out with this cause. She's a fine young lady, hard worker, and just really is struggling at this time and needs their support. So if you have further questions about the benefit, you may call yours truly here, who will be serving as Master of Ceremony, at 804-492-5806, 804-492-5806. And I'm assuming by now, John or Noah, that y'all have the announcement at the station.
We do.
Okay, well, we appreciate all y'all are doing and everybody else helping with this great cause. Like I said, if you have questions, you can call me directly, and I'll be happy to answer those. But we're looking forward to a great evening of Southern gospel music there at Fitzgerald Memorial Baptist Church. And I want to thank them very much, Fitzgerald Memorial Baptist Church, for allowing us to use their facility at no cost. Great people, a great church, and fine folks, and we appreciate them very much, and all those involved in helping donate their time with the cause on Saturday.
All right, Barry. Well, thank you for letting us know about this.
All right, John, y'all take care. You and Noah both have a great week, and stay cool.
You do the same. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, Barry Miles reminding us about that event, and we do have it in our calendar. I've read it a few times, at least last week for sure. So we will mention that again throughout the day, along with our other announcements we have in the community calendar.
You can send those too. Do you have the email for the
Comcal.com, I think is what it is.
You can just send, community calendar at WFLO or Comcal at WFLO.net.
.net. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Hey, guess what happened on this day in history?
I would love to know, John.
Telstar 1 launched.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Telstar 1.
Telstar.
The first communications satellite to transmit live television signals and telephone conversations across the Atlantic Ocean was launched this day back in 1962.
That's a long time ago that happened.
Inaugurating a new age in electronic communications. Way back when in 62. Also on this day in automotive history, 2019, German automaker Volkswagen ended production of the Beetle.
Sad day for all those Beatles fans out there.
The first model of which had been introduced back in 1938. 2015, Egyptian actor Omar Sharif, who garnered international acclaim for his roles in Lawrence of Arabia, 1962, Dr. Zhivago, 1965, died at the age of 83. I have not watched either one of those films, but the film I do know him from was the 1984 classic Top Secret. It was the first movie Val Kilmer ever made. It's a comedy. It's a much like Airplane. Matter of fact, I think maybe the same people that made Airplane may have had something to do with that movie.
I've seen Airplane, and it's a very funny movie.
Top Secret. You
I should check that out.
Yeah, it's
What's it about? Do you have the?
It's like set,
or is that Top Secret?
It could be. It's set like a period piece, like during the war. So basically, Kilmer is like Elvis slash, for some reason, gets involved working as some sort of secret agent type thing. Because he actually does a song in the middle of the movie at some point, and it's really him singing the song. But it's very Elvis influenced type of thing.
A lot of
but it's a spoof type of movie, so it's a lot of spoofing going on. Matter of fact, Peter Cushing is in it. It's the last film he made as far as an American production before he passed. And so it's that's what I know Amar Chevy from that film. All right, what else? Real quick here. Russian politician Boris Yeltsin was sworn into office as the country's first elected president back in 1991. And then you got, 1985, the Greenpeace ship Rainbow Warrior was sunk by 2 bomb explosions, which berthed in Auckland Harbour, New Zealand. It was later revealed that French intelligence agents had planted the explosive.
Oh, goodness. Those French with their sneaky explosives, John.
But of course. 1973. Yeah, the Bahamas gained independence from Britain within the Commonwealth.
Just to harp back on the explosives, I
Go
bet
ahead.
it was inside of like a loaf of bread, like a baguette, like a bomb that looked like a piece of bread, so nobody questioned it. You know, those French love their long baguettes.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. They're a funny bunch.
Yes, they are.
Anyway.
We love the French.
1965, British rock band The Rolling Stones topped U.S. charts for the first time with the single I Can't Get No Satisfaction. All right, we may have to spin that one today during the lunch show or something.
We're going to
like that.
spin it on the computer, John.
The Puda. All right. Let's see. Anything else here worth mentioning? You keep going back in time, and eventually you run out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Today was the day when those 2 cavemen threw a rock against the wall.
Tastes like dog stuff? Yeah, it tastes like dog stuff. Good thing we don't step in it.
What were you a big fan of those Geico commercials that
No.
the
The
cavemen?
ones that
they spoofed. They made a show.
Yes,
about
yes, they did. And that bombed like I don't know what.
them. Like other, like
No,
like,
I
like
wasn't.
that French baguette that we were talking
that
about.
guy bothered me.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't big on those.
Yeah, I can't believe they that's got to be the first time a show was made from a commercial, right? Like I'm trying to think of like a show that's origins spawned from a commercial, like a TV commercial trying to sell you something. Can you think of something?
Not really. Not off the top of my head.
That's right. It's the one and only. Maybe not the only, but definitely
Probably a good reason not to ever do it again.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything. Somebody else might be able to. I mean, there were people that were in commercials that ended up on shows and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's not the same thing.
No, it's like your show is based off of
Right. Yeah, I know what you're saying. And so I can't think of anything like that.
man.
Mr. Whipple didn't go around squeezing the Charmin on a TV show or anything like that.
I would love to see a show about Mr. Clean, though. It's just a guy who is it's like Howie Mandel. It's played by Howie Mandel because
I never understood what Mr. Clean was. Is he a pirate?
He's
he had
just-
a
he had a gold
earring.
earring.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
just a guy with a gold earring that liked a clean space, which
Hanging
is
out
like
in
Howie
women's
Mandel.
kitchens
Yeah.
and wearing all white.
underneath their pantry, or like in the cabinets. He likes to hang out in the cabinets, John.
Yeah, I could have made a show about the Green Giant, maybe. Green Giant.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That's a good
could
one.
have done that one.
What was the? I'm trying to think of commercials now. I don't know. What do you? I mean, it's interesting that commercials you don't really see them being played like on like TV because like cable. Not a lot of people have cable anymore, so it's like YouTube commercials, but like.
I was going to say, they show right many commercials. It's just usually about stuff I don't care about.
Exactly. Well, it's just I feel like commercials have changed versus like cable. When cable was on, it was like a guy standing somewhere and he was like, "Hey, you spilled a stain on your shirt. Try this." And he's just like in a white room with like
You talking about
bottles.
the ShamWow guy?
Yeah, ShamWow or stuff like that. But I feel like commercials now are like they're made differently to where it's not like. I guess style changes and
Yeah.
it's just like interesting to think.
Well, the day of the jingle and the catchy jingle, that's gone.
Yeah.
That
Maybe I'll have a revival at some point.
Well, you got to have talent to bring stuff like that around.
I'm still writing jingles in case if they ever come back.
Good. We may need that someday if
Yeah.
it comes back around. Oh, did you want to continue your wedding extravaganza?
I mean, there's so much to get into, John. But basically, the hotel or the Airbnb I was staying at, like after the hotel was clearly haunted, so I only spent one night there. And I decided to drive back the after the wedding because like I didn't have anything to really drink, and also I mean I was hanging around talking with some friends for like a couple of hours, and I was like I just got to get up at 4:00 in the morning anyways, so I might as well just drive through the nights, instead of sleeping for a little bit and then driving 7 hours. Might as well just drive 7 hours and then just sleep when I get back.
So what caused you to leave when you saw red rum on the door? And
yeah, well, the beds, John. The beds were wildly uncomfortable. Also, in the Airbnb, a closet. There was a closet with like creepy wallpaper, which I took a picture of. Also, there was an owl that. Let me just show you this picture of an owl. But I was sleeping.
An actual owl?
Not an actual. It's a painting, but it's a terrifying painting.
Well, the eyes were following you across the room.
It's like that episode of Andy Griffith, quite literally. Yes.
Man Rimshaw.
This painting, John. This really got me. Look at this owl and tell me. And also, this picture is hard to tell, but like, can you see that?
Yeah. I can't tell that it's an owl, but yeah, okay, now I get it.
Is that not creepy? And it's illuminated by a salt lamp that's like giving this red color off, and it's just the spookiest thing, John. I don't know. So I didn't want to spend another night in the haunted.
All work and no play makes
Jack
no.
The old boy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So you were banging that out on the typewriter all night.
I was in my sleep, and then also there was a closet with a door built into the wall that looked shady, and like the messages under. Basically, we had a collective narrative that like Bucky was a child that went missing, and now like the homeowners like keep him in the closet with this door. Like, look at this door, John. It's like a hidden door. Look at this creepy wallpaper. But, like, that's at the end of the closet, and there's locks on it. So I can only imagine where Bucky is, or if he's even a human. Maybe he's a ghost. Anyways, John, it's 8:30.
It is.
It's time to get into the good stuff.
Oh, okay. I was going to let you put a cap on your own story.
Okay, John.
All right.
Okay.
So don't go to the Norman Bates Motel that Noah over here went to, sounds like. All right, you are correct. It's 8:30 on the dot. This edition of The Weather is brought to you by the Bank of Charlotte County.
Hello, I'm Stuart Wilborn, manager of the Bank of Charlotte County Loan Office in downtown Farmville. I invite you to call or come by and see me about your loan needs. Whether it's time to purchase investment property, build your dream house, expand your business, or purchase timberland or farmland, you will find old-school personal assistance with attention to detail. Stop by our office at 216 North Main Street or call us at 391-1136. The Bank of Charlotte County, giving you more for your banking needs. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
All right, for today, sunny, a high near 83. Tonight, a 20% chance of showers. Look for a low tonight around 57. Mostly sunny Tuesday, a high near 80. Tuesday night, mostly clear with a low around 55. Wednesday, sunny, a high near 84. Wednesday night, mostly clear with a low around 62. Humidity, 66%. Winds calm. Barometer, 29.76. Fair skies right now, 67. The Bank of Charlotte County with branch locations in Phoenix, Charlotte Courthouse, Brookneal, and their loan office in downtown Farmville. The birthday calendar is brought to you by Terry Atkins Wilson, PC.
The law office of Terry Atkins Wilson, PC is located at 117 North Main Street in downtown Farmville. With deep roots in Farmville and our surrounding communities, Terry and her legal staff specialize in real estate law, wills and trusts, business formations, and collections. Experience and professionalism are extended to every customer in every case. The needs and concerns of every customer are their primary focus. If you have legal needs, contact the law office of Terry Atkins Wilson, PC PC for a consultation at 434-392-1422.
And when you hear the strings of the music, you know what is following, and that would be the birthdays, anniversaries, presented to you by Noah Massar.
That's right, John. How's it going? How you feeling over there, John?
I'm glad I didn't go where you went.
Okay. John, this is one of those rare occasions that we actually don't have any entry on the
I remember
birthday
looking
or
at that
anniversary.
Friday. You're right. There's
But-
no names on that particular calendar list. Yeah.
But, I will say there was a birthday on the 9th. I don't know if it's been mentioned.
it
but
was probably Friday, but go ahead.
Okay.
Belated birthday.
Virginia L. Lee of Burkeville. That's the 9th. It's a belated birthday. Happy post-birthday party. Hope you're doing well, Virginia.
And just because we don't have any on our particular calendar doesn't mean none exist.
Of course.
So if you'd like to let us know, give us a call. The number is 434-394-0924. You had an easy job there.
Yes.
No names.
No names
It's
at
like
all.
hitting the jackpot sometimes.
Yeah. I can hear the bingo, not bingo. What is it? Slot machine go off? Doesn't it make a noise like? Doo-doo-doo,
Yeah, because I'm the big gambler here.
Yeah,
so.
John, come on.
Yeah.
I see those money-filled pockets.
On a warm summer eve on a train bound for... Anyway, for the right legal advice, visit Terry Atkins Wilson, PC, Main Street, Farmville. All right, so the birthdays anniversaries have been taken care of. All our bottom of the hour stuff has been taken
Hit it
care
right
of.
out of the park, John.
Right out of the park. Celebrity birthdays, and then we're going to get to your story.
Oh, goodness, of course, I'm sorry.
Actress Gina Gershon turned 62. Do you know who that is?
It sounds familiar. It sounds very
She's
familiar.
been in a bevy of films. She was in Cocktail with Tom Cruise. Wasn't the main love interest, but a love interest that early on in the movie. She's been in quite a lot of films that I have seen throughout my childhood. Just kidding, not childhood, as I got older.
Okay.
62 today is Gina Gershon. Recently appeared as a doctor on an episode of Elsbeth.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a show?
I guess.
I don't know. Actress Kate Flannery turned 60. I have no idea who that is. But here's your fun fact. Well known for playing Meredith on The Office.
Oh, yes.
The role was actually played by a different actor in the show's pilot, which is common for most TV show pilots. They'll have different actors or actresses in the pilot as opposed to what ends up being on the actual run of the show if they get picked up. And that happens often. And it's interesting if you are a fan of the show and you never saw the original pilot and then you see it after the fact, after watching the show through its initial run, and then you see a pilot and you go, that's weird. They got different people playing the parts. Happened in a lot of shows.
I want to say it even happened in Dick Van Dyke, like the pilot. Well, the funny thing, yeah, like you said, pilots, it's just, I guess, a proof of concept, like the story, but like even the sets change a lot because I remember the first episode of Dick Van Dyke, the pilot episode, it took place in a totally different house that didn't even look like what they ended up using, but also like the little boy Richie.
Their way. Yeah.
Like, you remember Richie, that annoying
Vaguely,
child?
yeah.
Played by somebody else.
I haven't watched Dick Van Dyke in a long time. But yeah, they're always... Well, the first season of any show, they're still finding their footing.
Yeah.
And the rest of the series, if it goes on more than a couple of seasons, you'll always notice with just about any show that the first season is a lot different than how the show ends up being after that. Mm-hmm. They always make certain changes here and there, whether it's, like you said, sets and or casting or whatever the case may be. Characters may disappear or they may add new characters, whatever the case may be. But, yeah, that's always an interesting thing. Elizabeth Hurley turns 59 today. Mm-hmm. And your fun fact for her, excuse me, once appeared as a guest judge on RuPaul's Drag Race UK. Why she would have appeared on that, I have no idea.
Are you a big fan of that show, John?
Think real hard when you ask that, and you can come up with the answer to that all on your own.
I don't know, John. I mean, shows.
Think about what you just did.
I'll put it this
way.
way.
Look at me, and then think about what you just asked.
I'll put it this way, Jalen. There are some shows that I totally watch for the entertainment value, and
then there's shows that I don't watch because I have no interest. In that sort of thing.
Sure.
That would fall into that category.
Okay.
There you go.
We're rocking and rolling this morning.
Yes, we are. Shane West turns 46. Do you know who Shane West is? He's fairly young.
Shane West. Let me.
His middle name is Bruce.
He looks familiar. Did he play in a
If he's 46, I wouldn't know who or what he has done because he's not my age, but he's close. He's younger.
I don't know.
I don't know.
He looks familiar, but I don't recognize him.
Tara Lipinski. Yeah, turns 42. She looks familiar. Or the name does, anyway. Fun fact, appeared in an episode of Night Court last year. This would be the Night Court remake. They brought back. Yes, thank you.
I wish they showed the celebrity, their name, and then also the body of work they've been in. Like they should be listing the movies and shows that they were in. It's just like, hey, this person appeared in this and also this, but there's got to be more,
Actress Tristan Mays turns 34. Fun fact, was once part of a singing group called Jane 3.
And how interesting. Jane 3.
Kate Upton. I know who this is.
We all know who Kate Upton is.
All right, we do. And let's see. Turns 32. Model and actress Kate Upton. Fun fact, married pro pitcher Justin Verlander back in 2017. Lucky guy he was. All right. Who else? Anybody here? Because after they give you the pictures, then you get just a random list of names at the end of the thing here. And then if I can see anybody here that may register any kind of idea as to who they may be, I'll mention them. If not, we'll just keep on keeping on. And you can finish up your wonderful... Well, the rest of your story has not as much to do with the wedding or anything. Actually, none of your story had anything to do with the actual wedding.
None of the story. The wedding was the most boring part of the trip, to be honest, John.
It's like a Western.
Yes.
Weddings are very much like a Western.
Yeah. I would say there's an open bar, Western-like, and then people getting in fights, also very well. And then there's dancing,
I'll take a whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bourbon, dry martini on the rocks. I don't know if that's a thing.
Love on the rocks.
But
anybody do any Neil Diamond karaoke or anything? Okay.
No karaoke at the wedding.
Darn.
That was actually one of the rules of the wedding.
That was the rule.
No, the wedding was fun. Had no complaints about the wedding, but the real problem was the Airbnb. So we got back from the wedding, and
you keep saying that like I'm supposed to know what that is. What is Airbnb?
It's so it's basically, if you
I don't get out much.
If you own your house or if you have property that you could rent it out for a day, like a hotel. They call them Airbnbs.
Okay.
I guess bed and breakfast. I don't know what the B&B would be. Bed and breakfast probably. And yeah, so it's kind of like a hotel. Sometimes you can get better deals, like they're cheaper than a hotel. Sometimes they're more expensive, but sometimes they're nicer too. And sometimes it's like the whole house you have. So that's kind of adds to the shadiness of it because we're in the basement. There's somebody in the woods because we thought it was I thought it was an animal at first, John, and I don't want to I don't want to be like, oh, there's definitely somebody in the woods, but there was somebody just being out there, just kind of lollygagging, if you will, out there in the woods, and then like I said, we started smelling.
What's the difference between lollygagging and mirandering?
I think
like if you meander.
I think I think lollygag is like when you just kind of I guess he was more meandering than he was gagging.
okay.
Lollygagging. Yeah, meander.
Meandering, yeah.
But there was somebody out there. I don't know if they were
Meandering.
watching us, but like there was definitely shady character in the woods. That's all we have to say.
Okay.
That we could not see, but was most likely watching us. And so yeah, like. I had that on my mind, and then, like, the room, like I said, the bunk bed was littered with messages to Bucky that were concerning and honestly terrifying. Also, it was like, yeah, Bucky, don't sleep too well. Bucky, we visited you. Where are you, Bucky? We need you, Bucky. Bucky, I mean, like...
Somebody was trying
weird.
to buck the system.
It was like... It was like, I feel like the child probably went missing... I'm hoping it was all made up. I'm honestly hoping it was
thinking maybe
but
you're right.
It was a little too suspicious. Everything. The guy in the woods. Maybe that was Bucky. Bucky might have been in the woods watching us. Like, anyways.
Or maybe this person gets off renting this thing out and then trying to scare the people out of there.
Anyways, John. So it was actually rated very well. That's another thing I don't understand because it was a terrible place to sleep. I
Well, you
had
could probably
back pain when I
rate
woke
your
up.
own place and make the
Yeah.
numbers jump up. And
No. False reviews got their
You
friends
got
to
it.
stay there. Yeah. I don't like it at all, John. But I will say this. I will say this on the way home because I was like, I'm not staying here. It's early. I'm going to leave. I feel good. I got like a second boost of energy thinking about staying at the Airbnb. Like I went into the fight or flight mode and I was like, I'm heading out of here. I'm gone. And so I'm driving home, John. And I stopped for coffee a couple of times. I stopped at like a Love's gas station to get some Java twice. And
that's coffee for
Yeah.
anybody
yeah.
from the South.
Yeah. I got some Java a couple of times, and, you know, I'm driving, and I'm like, I could use coffee just, like, one more time. And by this point, I'm, like, 3.5 hours into my trip. And I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, somewhere on 85.
Woo! Home of the Nature Boy.
On Charlotte, North Carolina, on 85, just driving. I'm not familiar with the area. I don't think I've ever even been to Charlotte, like, in the city. I have been around it, like, you know, but never, like, really went into it at all. But I'm
Right.
driving on 85, and I see this exit for Sugar Creek. And I'm like, that sounds so nice. Sugar Creek. Like, is the water... like made with sugar? Like, is there a creek that's just very sweet? And I was like, that's got to be a nice place. And it had a gas station and several gas stations and a McDonald's. So I was like, let me stop by Sugar Creek. The exit at Sugar Creek. So I go into the exit, John, and I'm driving, and I see the McDonald's to my right. There's a gas station to my right, and also across from the gas station, there was another gas station to the left. So I was like, okay, we have options now. We have 2 gas stations, and we have a McDonald's. And so I'm like, let me just go to the McDonald's, get a nice coffee, maybe like a breakfast, something breakfasty. So I pull in to the McDonald's, and this is what they tell me. They're like, hey, if you're not with DoorDash, you have to leave now. And I was like, oh boy, that's not. I was
You
like,
have to wear Jordache jeans to get served?
no, you have to be picking up an order that's like a DoorDash order.
Oh.
To
He's so young he didn't get the joke, folks.
Okay. So look, John.
Yo.
DoorDash, you
Yeah.
know, and I'm like, okay, that's weird because you guys are open and you are serving food. You just won't serve to regular folk. It has to be a DoorDash order. And then I started realizing, I was like, I get why they do that, because of the crime rates of Sugar Creek. Because like as I was leaving the McDonald's parking lot, I will just refer to them affectionately as I guess the proper term would be crackhead. There was several crackheads about, and I was like, okay. I was like, so
You should have went to Mayberry, and then all you
Yeah.
would have had to worry about is Otis Campbell.
Exactly, with a car, which is terrifying, John. I could have died with Otis. No, so I see these people lurking around and like looking at me, and I'm like, the first rule when you're in that area, which like I've been in areas like that before, I'm just usually accustomed to them. Like it's ones that I'm familiar with already, but this is uncharted territory. So I'm like, okay, don't make too much eye contact. Just keep driving. get what you need, and go. And so I pulled into the parking lot. That's the gas station across from the McDonald's, and I was like gonna go inside and get coffee, but I was like, hold on, there's way too many people out here right now. It looked like for 3:00 in the morning, there was probably like 12.5 people just standing outside the parking lot, being like, hey man, what's up? Like, I don't know. It looked like some suspicious activity was happening.
A lot of early risers out there.
And there was I will also say this, and I'm only saying this because I looked it up to verify. There was several prostitutes out and about in that area, and I looked it up, and apparently the Sugar Creek had a couple of busts a couple of months ago that were like prostitution busts. So that's another concerning thing. But they were just like walking around. I'm like, okay, this is.
I noticed you're not really quick to leave this area to notice all this stuff.
Well, because like it's all slowly coming to me, because I'm like, I went to the gas station, or I'm sorry,
it looks like you hightailed it out of that hotel, but here you seem to like really to be like wanting to hang in there.
You've never had a Jones for coffee. You've never been jonesing for coffee.
No.
I needed my coffee to live, but like I didn't realize it until I was at that first gas station, because I was like, okay, this is actually a bad neighborhood. I thought the McDonald's thing was weird, but I think they actually do that because they've been robbed before. And I'll tell you something about that too in a minute. But like I went to the gas station across the street that had nobody in the parking lot, or that I thought.
The grass station?
The grass station across the creek, across the Sugar Creek, John. Come on, pay attention, John. No, so there was another gas station across the street from the gas station I was just at, and it looked pretty empty. So it was like, okay, and it's a 7-Eleven too, which, that's actually not good, but I was like, I'm desperate. So I went in, at least they had fresh coffee, So I stopped by the 7-Eleven.
They still do the numbers thing?
Yes, they do.
Cool.
Yeah. And so I park right in front of the door. I'm like, I'm just running in to get coffee and running out. And then, like, when I parked, I noticed there was a car shadily parked in between two pumps, and their headlights are on, and they're just kind of there. I'm like, okay, that's concerning. But I was looking at the area, and there was a homeless man in a wheelchair outside of the 7-Eleven, like at the very end of the sidewalk, like where you go in. He was just kind of like there, stationed up, but sleeping. So I'm like looking. I'm like, it's late. I need coffee though. I was like, all I have to do is run in. I see the staff inside. I just need to get in there, get my coffee, and go. So I get out of my car and I lock the doors, and I go to the door and I try to open it, and it was locked. But there was employees inside, and they were all staring at me like this, John. They were just staring, and they were like, what, in their eyes, it looked like they were asking, what are you doing out here? And I was like, oh no. I was like, and then as soon as I tried opening up the door, the car parked in the gas station parking lot started revving its engine, and it was like straight at me, like it was like this. It was like, vroom. I was like, this is not good at all, John. I was like, oh no. And as soon as he revved the engine, that woke up the homeless man in the wheelchair, and he was like this. He was like, what are you doing? And he started wheeling at me, like, really fast. Like, I mean, like, I was, like, booking it to my car, and he was gaining on me. Like, that's how fast he was. He was like, what are you doing? What are you? And he was just shouting, like, and I couldn't even understand him at some points. I was like, I was just juggling my keys like this. I'm like, okay, here we go. We gotta hightail it out of here now. And so I get into the car. I lock my doors. I peel out of that parking lot and never return to Sugar Creek, North Carolina. That's my main point. If you are in North Carolina and you see an exit for Sugar Creek, it's best just to stay away. But that's just my experience, and also it's very early in the morning too, so that could have been, I mean, it was 3:00 in the morning, John. That's pretty, a lot of shady people and activities happening at 3:00 in the morning. But he almost ran me over with the wheelchair. That was the most concerning part, because he was gaining on me. If I was like 5 seconds slower, I would have been, I would have got hit by that. And also, why was there a car parked out there revving its engine at me? I don't know. There's a lot of unknown answers. There's a lot of unknown about that situation, but that was my experience with Sugar Creek, North Carolina.
And somewhere in all this, his brother got married.
Somewhere in all of the story, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for that tale of interesting
John,
events that occurred to you?
Of course, John. Anytime.
All right.
Have you ever had a experience like that where you were in an area when you were and you're like, oh, I don't know if I should be here right now?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Like a bad neighborhood
Oh, yeah.
experience. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then you go roll them up, and then you drive on out.
Yeah.
Bad Boys.
What you want? What you want?
Not that. The movie.
Yeah.
Ride or Die. Boost Will Smith's comeback at the box office with a big $56 million opening. Is that much?
I guess.
Not if the movie cost that much.
No, $56 million opening. Like opening night, it should be more.
That's what I was going to say.
$56 million was probably less than the budget of the movie. Let's check it up. Let's check it out.
But here it is. It's all in bold print. It's like this big to do, and I'm like thinking, 56 million. I mean, it's more than I got, but I mean,
It's
it's probably a lot to do with the way movies are now. Movies just people aren't going to the movies like they used to.
So get this: the budget was $100 million. And
at
opening
least.
night was
At
56.
least.
So
Yeah.
they haven't even made their money
No.
yet on that.
Most movies now, I know it's crazy to say, but that's what the average is at least $100 million
Yeah.
to make. I mean, the budget. Yeah. you're
Whatever
right.
happened to the classic blockbuster that like the blockbuster hits?
Well, that's what this is supposed to be.
But that usually, if it's a hit, it makes way more than the like.
Well, I
the
think it's
budget.
what I was alluding to. The movies, the easy out would be to say that it's all based off of what COVID did to everything, and I'm not denying that. And that's got a lot to do with it, but it's also the things are changing now. People can see these movies real quick now. They don't have to. I mean, there was a time where you went to see a movie like that.
It had to be in theaters, or you had to
Right.
wait months and months after
And-
until the
or
release.
a year at
Yeah.
least, or something like that, before you'd see it again on the movie channels and or rental movie places, which don't exist anymore. But yeah, I'd say that, and they just don't make very good films anymore either.
That's true.
Good morning, you're on the air.
Oh, good morning, man.
How are you?
Okay.
Did your horse not come in?
No, it didn't. But
Oh.
I'm really glad that none went down. So, got injured or carted off.
A horse actually got hurt.
No, I'm glad that it didn't.
Oh, it didn't. Okay, I got you.
None of them. Yes, but
good.
you guys were talking about the Will Smith gig.
Yeah.
Do you think he's still kind of ousted with the public because of the slapping incident?
I would think so, but how do I put this? Sometimes the public, either they have a short-term memory or they quick to forgive or whatever. It maybe there's still that stigma, but I honestly, I think it's more so to do with what we're talking about, how the movie theater system is just crumbling before our very eyes. I mean, I think that's almost a dinosaur thing now, to the point that I don't know if they'll continue to exist. Not to the degree that they used to, anyway.
We'll just wait till we can watch it at home.
Yeah, well, I guess that's what I'm saying. Yeah, now, well, what was that Fall Guy movie they just put out? That thing tanks.
Yeah.
They tanked it it tanked so bad that they made it accessible to see immediately after it stopped being shown in theaters.
Huh.
And I thought that was an interesting tidbit. I thought that this thing is so bad, we'll just make it available right now to watch.
I think.
Now,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I was going to say.
No.
I think the way that we're going to have to win that back as people, and if we want to see movie theaters continue to thrive, because there's nothing as amazing as just going to the theater, getting a bucket of popcorn and getting a large soda and sitting a place.
The movie theater experience is
it's special.
cool.
It's
I'm not
special.
denying that, but but if there's no movies to see,
The thing is, though, they need to make a deal. Like these companies or directors, they need to have in the agreement that the movie cannot be on a streaming service for at least 8 to 9 months after.
but
it gets
I'm more of
released.
not what you're saying is not a bad idea. It's a good idea, but they need to make movies
that are quality,
good movies, and that a good majority of people would want to see, not just what they dig back off to the left coast. You know, throw a wider net out than what you're doing.
But it seems like you almost have to. They have to have a loan officer in the lobby just to get in. What if you're working at fast food? You can't take a date to something like this.
You're right.
So I wonder if they're going to price themselves out.
Well, that's the other thing. I mean, prices for everything are outrageous, and so who can afford it? Why are you going to pay all that money for popcorn, drink, or whatever, snack-wise, to watch a movie that you're really not all that crazy about seeing in the first place? I mean, it's just,
Oh, yeah. Maybe you just want to go there and you got your new date and you remember how you used to do the yawn to get your arm around her and
I remember that.
Something.
Right. Now the yawn is real. You're not faking it anymore.
Oh, my gosh. That is the truth. And then you got some loud talker behind you. Or they're talking on the phone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Man,
I'm like, you came all this way just to look at your phone? It's like, okay.
Oh, my gosh, yes. And you're ruining it for me. I had to work 6 hours to see this movie.
Oh, so was there anything else you wanted to harp on other than the Will Smith film?
Oh, I got, when you said you went to the B&B, did you have any concern that this high-tech industry, that there were hidden cameras or something?
He's talking
located around?
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
around the that area.
Anywhere inside, outside, bathrooms, kitchens.
I didn't see any.
Well, they're not supposed to.
Yeah. They don't make them that noticeable.
I didn't see any hidden cameras, caller. But, I mean, the fact that there could be some, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. I did feel like it was being watched.
Something runs through your brain.
Yeah, yeah. It was concerning in, also, when I opened up the closet door to put my suit in there, there was another door built into the wall with this very shady-looking wallpaper. It's like a hidden compartment. It looked like something straight out of The Shining, honestly. It was very Shining reminiscent. Yeah, but I don't know. I just did not feel safe in there. And, the Bucky messages, there's a lot of concerning things going on in that Airbnb. And, I don't know, man. Do you have any experiences with, shady places that you stayed?
Oh, no, I'm so uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable even about picking up bed bugs and bringing them home. Mm-hmm. Heck no. No, or mirror that. Did you see the, what was it, night at the, something Royale where they had the glass and you could watch them from the other side? It was just built, I guess, see-through glass mirrors.
Yeah.
I know the film he's talking about, but I didn't see it.
I don't think I've seen it.
It's worth seeing. It is. Yeah. It is. I would suggest it. So.
Yeah. Well, I'm still trying to recover from this horrible experience.
We all are.
Okay, John.
Oh my gosh. Man, well, you knew martial arts. You could have been took on the song and kung fu fighting and out there and chopping men up.
There's a difference between knowing martial arts and then having a sleep paralysis when you wake up and this haunted owl painting staring at you. And okay, no, but I mean it. Seriously, there was something wrong with that painting, and there was literally something wrong with that place. And so I woke up with the worst back pain imaginable, John, the worst back pain. And the only thing I can think of is that owl had back pain in another lifetime, and it somehow transferred it to me by watching me sleep. It was its way of relieving himself of the back pain is by transfer. There was some shady stuff going on in that Airbnb, and that's all I'm going to say. It seems unbelievable. It seems like it should not. It's like I'm overreacting or
No.
making it. John, I swear to you, John.
I think you really believe what you.
Okay, John.
saw.
John no.
Oh well, we got to go because it's so
Okay.
time has eluded us here.
Yes, it has.
Oh well.
All
Thank
right,
you for calling in, and hope to hear from
Yeah,
you
thanks.
sometime soon. Take care.
Oh, yes. Goodbye.
Bye. All right, that's going to do it for the Call Flow Radio Show. Noah Massage, thankfully, got back from his
Haunted Mansion.
that weird trip that you had there.
It was quite crazy.
Yeah, we'll talk at you tomorrow. Bye.
WFLO, AM 870, Farmville.
ABC News, I'm Sherry.